The movie starts at a prison hospital, where Jeong-hye is giving birth to her son Min-woo. The scene then takes us 1 year later where the inmates are kept. Two ladies Yeon-sil and Hwa-ja can be seen collecting items from other inmates for Min-woo's first birthday party. Later, they celebrate Min-woo's birthday as everyone loves the kid very much. While choosing gifts from the table, the little boy picks up handcuffs instead of normal gifts, which surprises everyone. Later, all of them take a group photo. Suddenly a lady officer who is known as Chief Bang starts approaching the cell and everybody gets scared. Chief Bang is rude by attitude and she starts checking the cell and finds a camera. Despite Hong pleading with the officer to let her have the pictures as it is her son's first birthday, the rude officer takes everyone out and rips the group photo in front of everyone. As she does this, everyone looks devastated, especially Hong. Later on, a sad Hong is still distraught by the incident when she is comforted by her inmate Moon-ok. Hong asks Moon-ok about her singing voice and reveals that Min-woo cries every time she sings. To demonstrate it, she starts singing, to which Min-woo starts crying immediately. Suddenly, a bus enters bringing another inmate and her name is Yumi. Yumi is kept in the cell where Hong, Moon-ok, Yeon-sil, Hwa-ja, and Min-woo are kept. Just then, the little Min-woo approaches her, but Yumi pushes him and exclaims that raising a kid in a prison will be a sweet memory for him. Hearing this, Hong becomes enraged and she starts becoming violent with the new girl. They are only separated when guards arrive and stop the fight. The scene then shifts to a flashback. Hong is silently sitting in a car and someone tells her that he has medical records on her husband's mental health. The man continues by saying that he can only help Hong if she speaks up. It is revealed that Hong's husband continuously abused and tortured her. In the next scene, a pregnant Hong is being attacked by her drunken husband. Tired of his assault, she pushes him back, but he lands on a glass table and gets accidentally killed. Suddenly, Hong wakes up and realizes that the flashback was just a dream. Moving on, a confused Yumi starts banging her head against the wall hard and it starts bleeding, so guards come and stop her. She remembers how she was forced by her stepfather and how she killed him. Officer Kong tells Hong that Yumi is a wonderful soul. She also reveals that Yumi killed her stepfather after being sexually abused for several years. Knowing the truth behind the killing, her term got reduced by 10 years, but she has continuously tried to commit suicide before coming here. In the forwarding scene, Officer Kong brings letters and gifts to the cell. Everyone sits and enjoys the watermelon while gossiping. Suddenly, Yumi enters and isolates her from the group. Seeing her lonely, Min-woo again approaches her and hugs her. In the next scene, Moon-ok is seen calling her daughter, but her daughter immediately answers that she got the wrong number. Moon-ok tries to talk to her but she cuts the call. Here, it is revealed that Moon-ok's daughter hates her mother. The following day, all the inmates are made to sit in a hall where a choir is performing and everyone enjoys it. Then everyone comes out of the hall and Min-woo starts playing outside. The warden enters and greets Min-woo and his mother and asks if everything is convenient, to which she replies that everything is fine. She then suggests organizing a choir in the prison as a reformation program, to which the warden gives her the full authorization. She also asks for a favor, that if she does good with her work she wants a day out as a motivation. The next day the notice to form the choir starts circulating and everybody gets excited. She approaches Moon-ok to lead the choir but she seems to show no interest. Moon-ok's daughter comes to visit her, but instead of talking politely, she showers her anger on her mother and leaves. At the same time, Yumi's mother has also come to meet her daughter, but her daughter declines to see her. Elsewhere, the distraught Moon-ok starts playing a gracious tune on the piano. She remembers how her husband cheated on her and how she ran him and his girlfriend over by a car. While Moon-ok plays the piano, Hong and Officer Kong silently enter the hall and admire the old lady playing. She gets startled when she hears them clapping and rushes out the hall, but Hong pleads with her to give it a try and lead the choir. Without getting an answer, Hong tells her that they will start tomorrow after lunch and leaves the hall immediately. On the ground, the inmates are discussing how to solve their choir problem and the little Min-woo goes towards Yumi and hugs her again. Just then, some inmates come and start picking on Yumi and push Min-woo down the ground. This enrages Yumi, who becomes angry and starts attacking the group. A huge brawl breaks out and Yumi's cellmates rush to help her. The guards also arrive and break up the two groups. In the next scene, Chief Bang gets angry and goes to the warden to report the incident. Elsewhere, we see that Yumi is hurt badly by the incident and is in the medical room. Moon-ok is beside her as she thinks of her as her daughter. Hong also arrives and she continues to pursue her for the choir. Finally, she agrees and starts taking the audition and selection for the group. However, everyone sings horribly, which implies that they are not ready to perform. Later, Hong is called into the warden's office. Warden explains to Hong why they are not ready for the choir. He explains to her that there is a high risk for accidents having all the inmates in one place, but Hong requests him again and again. Finally, the warden agrees and gives them 6 months to prepare. He says that if there is no change in the prison in 6 months, they will have to drop the choir. Hearing this, Hong becomes delighted and heads back to her cell. On the way, she crosses paths with the melodic voice of Yumi, by which she gets mesmerized. In the next scene, all the inmates start practicing together, and Moon-ok guides them on how to sing. Moon-ok then mentions that the choir is almost complete and just a solid soprano is needed. Hong mentions that Yumi can take that role, but when she approaches her, Yumi starts offending her. Hearing this, an enraged Hong slaps her and leaves the hall. After realizing her mistakes, Yumi apologizes for her actions. She also agrees to be a part of the choir and sings in front of other inmates, to which all of them become flattered by her vocals. The next morning they all start practicing again. While correcting the mistakes, one of the inmates misbehaves with Moon-ok and they all start to fight again. Moon-ok stops the fight and explains to them that they have to stop fighting among themselves. She continues that they have to open up their hearts so that they can sing freely. Hence, everyone starts confessing the reason why they ended up in prison. Some stories are funny while some are heart-touching. Days go by and every day they practice a lot. Meanwhile, even Hong improves her vocals. The day of the performance has finally arrived. The group performs in front of their inmates and prison staff and the performance goes very well. Everyone present in the hall enjoys and cheers for them. Hong is granted a day off, but the same day she gets to know that she has to let her son go up for adoption. During the day out she changes her clothes and leaves with Min-woo. Everyone in the cell and choir is sad. Hong leaves her son in a kindergarten and asks the caretaker to pass the photo album to the parents who will adopt him. She then leaves her son in the kindergarten, but before exiting the premise she again runs back to see her son. However, she breaks down in tears when she sees someone else holding her son. Knowing that it would be difficult for both parties, she decides to leave the place at once. Hong gets devastated after letting her son go. Hoping that music will gradually heal her, she later rejoins the choir group. The choir practice regularly and perform quite often. The scene moves 4 years later. The choir gets invited to the National Women's Competition as a special guest on Christmas Eve, which means that they can go out and meet their loved ones. Since many inmates were not able to reach out to their loved ones, Officer Kong personally visits their family members and hands them the show tickets. On the day of the performance, everyone gets excited, as they were seeing the outside world after a long time. As the performance is about to commence, one lady loses her diamond ring, and the inmates are suspected. They are forced to strip, but Hong refuses as she knows that she has done nothing wrong and fights back. At the same time, their performance has also been cancelled. Then after some time, Warden comes to their rescue and they go to the stage to deliver their performance, which was earlier cancelled. They perform brilliantly and bring people to tears. The choir is then joined by a group of children. In that group, one of the performers is Min-woo. He stands right next to his biological mother. Hong recognizes her son immediately, but Min-woo doesn't recognize her. After the performance, everyone reunites with their loved ones. Hong hugs Min-woo for the last time, and before leaving, Min-woo's adoptive mother gives Hong a diary in which there are several pictures of Min-woo growing up. Yumi also has an emotional meet-up with her mother. One day, Moon-ok's daughter comes to meet her and immediately hugs her. While crying, she apologizes to her continuously for treating her badly. After Moon-ok is given a day's leave, she visits her daughter and son-in-law. There, she is treated with the utmost respect and Moon-ok returns to the prison happily. However, her happiness turns into devastation as the guards reveal that she is about to be executed. Her cellmates also get to know this and they become very emotional. She is the oldest inmate in the prison and is also like a mother to everyone. As the officers take her away, everyone starts singing and the movie comes to an end. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching.